Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the classroom with Architect Mark. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the, I wouldn't say it's the final frontier, but the, the last part of the syllabus that I normally teach in college is all about a particular BIM software. Now, a lot of you might not be familiar with BIM. It has been a bit popular in, I dare say, the last 5 to 10 years. So it's pretty young. But for the uninitiated, let's go see what BIM is all about. And we'll do that in our virtual whiteboard classroom thanks to the bamboo paper. Right? So let's go ahead onto that. Let's turn on the timer and let me switch to my pen right here. All right. So we started this off with CAD, computer aided design. So this helps us draw inside of the computer. And then recently we moved on to Sketchup. And this helps us draw 3D quite fast. Actually, it's one of the fastest. But there is such a thing called BIM, which is the absolute fastest tool ever. Why? Because let's look at that here. So in CAD, in order to create a wall, you first need to draw the line. So the command for that is L. That's one command. And then you create a next line, or, well, let's say you commanded a rectangle. So you end up with that. That's one command. And then you command extrude. It's two. And then you input the value. So that requires you a few key presses on the keyboard. So plus input. So that's the total number of steps you need to make a wall. So you extrude that and then end the command right there. SketchUp, you can draw a rectangle pretty quickly. One command. And then push and pull. Two command, and you end up with that. A rectangle also becomes a box. However, in BIM, actually the more prudent way is not the command, but the mouse inputs you have here. So for example, in CAD, you command the rectangle, so you type it in. REC, that's 3. 3 plus 2 mouse clicks. And then, so this is for the rectangle command. And then spacebar. So plus 1. So that ends the rectangle command. Or rather, let's do that again. REC spacebar, first point, second point, and then command release, extrude 3 plus selection 1 plus spacebar to commit the extrusion plus value. Let's say it's a 4-digit value plus 4 clicks, and then uh, command commit. So what's the total for that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16, 17 strokes. So this includes the mouse uh, clicks, etc. Sketchup, you command the rectangle by pressing R. You click 2 points in the screen plus 2. You convert to push and pull command plus another one. And then you press on the uh, object plus 1, and then you uh, move the mouse and commit it. So it's the other, that's the last uh, keystroke. And then you already have your box. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strokes. BIM uses a grand total of 3 strokes. And you get a wall. This is a wall. And it's not just a simple uh, it's not just a simple cube like these other two where there's nothing. In BIM, you literally click on the command wall. And if you're using the default value, you click twice on the computer as if you're making a line. So click here, and then you click here, and automatically you already have your wall on that position. Actually, it might require one more, a fourth stroke, because it will ask for justification whether you're walling in or out. But that's it for 4 strokes. So this alone tells us how vastly different these things are. CAD requires the most number of strokes relatively. If BIM was, if your rate for BIM was like 1, SketchUp is 1.5, and this thing is about 4. That proper? 4 times 4, 16. So it's pretty far away there. So this is in terms of creating building elements, most specifically these outer building elements, which are walls. And you don't just get the wall in 3D space, you get this in all spaces instantly within BIM. After these number of strokes, you get that in plan view, elevation views, in perspectives, or in any orthographic views, uh, etc. And all of these update in real time together. And that's pretty important. For example, in CAD most especially, if you if you're farther along in the plan and you needed to create if you needed to introduce a change into, like, say, a wall, you need to do that for all levels of your drawing. You redefine it one time for the plan, and then you look at how many elevations it gets affected. So that's a minimum 2 plus 2. And then you don't just change the single wall, you change all the walls that are beside it, and also the alignment of objects close to it. SketchUp is more or less the same, but BIM is able to dynamically adapt to these changes. So, for example, uh, because it works in parameters most of the time, if you, like, for example, if this wall had a door and you had to change this, uh, and this door was on center, you needed to change this length particularly. If you change the length and you need this on center, you just move it, and then it moves uh, together, automatically removes the wall where the door needs to be, because the door itself is a beam object, and that also goes with data all at once. So really, there is a very steep learning curve to BIM, but if you uh, if you weigh the value that it could give you over time, it is pretty high. But there is a reason why not everyone has completely transitioned to this type of uh, program. There is a reason why SketchUp is still very popular these days. And there is a reason why CAD still manages to keep itself alive after so many years. So even if the rate is has this much difference, they all have a space in the industry, considering what they can do, and they they do talk to each other, not as efficiently as when everything is made in BIM. But you know, these do still exist for a reason. And we will tackle BIM eventually. We just have to choose which program we will do that with. All right. So I hope this sheds some light on what BIM is if you're uninitiated, and uh, stay on the space to learn more about it pretty soon. All right. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.